guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while. This is gonna be like, oh my god, my phone keeps going off. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've just been like snowed. Life is coming at me fast right now. The title of this video is The Truth About Being a Single Mom. But despite what I'm saying about life coming at me fast, it's coming at me fast in a really good way. And I really just want to make this video to just inspire every single mom out there who watches me, who follows me, who supported me. Just anybody who is going to watch this video. I really hope this resonates with you. I really hope this inspires you to do this journey of being a single mom, because boy, like, I'm not there yet, but I didn't think I could do this, and where I am today, I thank God, because I just didn't think it was possible. So I'm just going to be letting you guys in to what it's really like being a single mom. Like, I'm going to give you the real truth, the good, the bad, the ugly, and kind of just some advice, as I said, some inspiration as to how you can boss this journey, because you absolutely can. So as I always say, let's take it back. I'm just going to give you guys a bit more context. So if you didn't know, I had my daughter when I was 20. I had to really think then. I was 20. That feels like ages ago. But I had her when I was 20. I got pregnant at 19. Absolutely was not planned. Like, if you know me and knew me before I had Nova's my daughter, I was the most selfish, unmaternal. I just wasn't ready for a child. Like, God just went, yep, here you go. I was like, okay. Nonetheless, we're here. A blessing. Like, having my daughter was the best decision I ever made. She is the best. A gift. Love her dearly. So yeah, became a mom to her at 20, and I didn't start out as a single mom, so that kind of made me feel a bit better about being a young mom, because like, yeah, I'm not single though. And then as time passed, the relationship that I was in broke down, and I chose to be a single mom. And that again was one of the best decisions that I ever made. If there is anybody in a situation where you feel unhappy in that relationship, or you feel that you're alone anyway, which is kind of how I felt, take the leap and just do it. I think I was like really scared of the stigma, you know, young single mom. It just doesn't sound the best, and I just didn't want to be in that bracket, should I say. I felt like really disappointed in myself, because I was like, I didn't expect my life to be this at 21. And I was in a situation where I literally had to start over. I had nothing, literally. So yeah, that was my beginnings of being a single mom. So I was 21, my daughter was 1, and I was like, yeah, single mom now, cool. How am I going to boss this? Now, this is the important thing, and I think the first thing you have to do is stop thinking about it. I think when you think, oh my God, I'm a single mom, that thinking is going to overwhelm you. I think you've got to just do it, because if you think about how you do it, you'll just never be able to take that all in. And I think as you get into it more and you just don't think about it and you find your flow, you realise that, like, wow, I'm just juggling, I'm just doing it. It's quite weird actually, and it just shows how amazing we are as women, because we can literally just get into that zone. So yeah, that was what I did. I was like, this is my reality now, this is how it's gonna go. And I'm like, I'd like to think I'm quite an ambitious person, and I didn't just want to be just a mom and stop my career, and like, I knew that wasn't for me. So I was like, how am I gonna juggle everything? So yeah, I think the most important thing for me was getting into a mindset that I can do this, and I can do anything that I put my mind to, and I'm gonna juggle it, and I'm gonna make it work somehow. And that's literally what I did. And it's one of them things that if you're not there yet, you fake it till you make it. Like, literally, you just have to get into this space where you feel like you're invincible, even if you're not. I have like so many visions and dreams. Like I always have about 10,000 tabs open in my brain, and every single mum has about 10,000 tabs open in our brain. So literally it was a case of like, how am I going to hit this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal, all like at the same time. But as I said, I just got into that kind of boss mindset and was like, it's got to be done. But I am not going to make out like, I'm not going to fill you guys with toxic positivity, as I like to call it. But I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. I love being a single mom. No, there is some days where I have to peel myself out of bed. And I'm like, God, why? Like, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Like, I'm tired. You want to watch Coco Melon. You're hungry. Like, everything that's going on before 8 o'clock in the morning sometimes is too much for me. And I don't know about anybody else, but I need time to defrost in the morning. Now, what I do now is, and I don't feel bad about it, every weekend, if I need a little lie-in, yep, here's the iPad, here's Cocomelon, here's you. Like, I literally do that now. But I felt really bad before, and I think that's the thing, like, we put loads of pressure on ourselves as a single mom. Like, you're allowed to have an off day. The responsibility of being a child's sole carer 24/7 is so hard. Like, it's the hardest thing I have ever done. Even just this week, like, I was driving my daughter to nursery, and I thought, this whole year there's not been a time where I haven't taken her. Tell a lie, my dad took her 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this is the first time all year that somebody's done the nursery run for me. And that is the reality of being a single mom. It's that every day you're just on go. You don't have a choice. You can't throw in the towel. It's like, it's you, and you've got to do this. And emotionally, that's a lot of pressure. And that's why I think it's so important to have your escape and have something for you, whether that's the gym, whether that's reading books, whether that's having a bath, whether that's having a skincare / wind down routine. You as a single mom, like, need to give yourself treats. And I think for me as well, this year, I was like, I am putting myself first sometimes. Like, it's okay. And I don't know what single mom needs to hear this. It is okay to put yourself first sometimes, because I felt like my daughter always looks amazing. She eats amazing. Like, every meal's home cooked, you know. Her clothes are ironed, I don't iron mine. Like, the effort levels that I put into her care, I was giving myself maybe that percentage of it. And I'd been doing that since the day she was born. And this year I was like, you know what? No, like, I'm gonna give myself some of that too. And I think as a single mom, you really have to, like, give yourself, like, make it intentional to give yourself something, because you deserve it. You really do. And you've got to do what makes life easier. So I'm going to go back to, as I said, what I do some weekends. I give Nova the tablet, I turn around, I get an extra hour's sleep, then I peel myself out of bed, then I do my chores real slow. Like, literally, don't feel bad and do what's best for you. Make it work for you. Yeah. To talk more about that point of making it easier for you, do that in terms of everything. Like, food, toddlers love, my daughter especially loves kiddie meals. Pasta, quick fish fingers, do it. Don't feel pressure to be like, oh my God, every meal needs to be made from scratch. Oh my God, everything needs to be perfect. No. As long as your child is eating healthy, you know, a little fish finger here and there and a bit of pasta, which takes 5 minutes to cook, is not gonna hurt. And it's just been small changes like that I've made. Even like my house being a mess. I hate my house being a mess. But sometimes if it's messy, it's messy. Nobody's gonna die because there's a bit of mess. And it's just not always holding yourself to this like super high standard all the time, because it's so draining, on top of the fact that you're looking after a child 24/7. So I've just learnt to just take a chill pill. Like, when things get done, they get done, obviously within reason. But things like housework, if it's not urgent, chill for 5 minutes, you know what I mean? If you've got an extra bit of money to spend, Oh my God, the mum guilt. Like before, every time I went into a shop, I was like, I need to come out with something for my daughter, like 100%. And now I'm like, well, no, I don't, because her room's full. And I know that I'm not the only parent who says this. We need to get rid of that mom guilt that you feel all the time, when it's like most of us really are giving and trying our best. So I've got rid of that, a lot of that now, that mum guilt that I used to feel, even when, you know, I asked for a break, whether that's relatives, whether that's her godparents, support me in childcare before I drop her off and feel bad. Now I'm like, bye. Because I know that I'm a good mum, and the same applies to most of us amazing single moms who do it by ourselves. Like, there's no harm in having a break. In terms of juggling, this is the hard part, and this is the part I don't have it under control. I don't think that I do. Like this morning, I was looking for my keys for 10 minutes before the nursery run because I'm just not organised sometimes, and that is the hard part. It's like every single piece of the puzzle being joined together, because it's like you want your child to eat well, you want your house to be tidy, you want to look good and feel good yourself, you want to achieve your dreams, and it's like doing all of that at the same time. Like, it's really hard, and I can't say I've mastered it. I can't sit here and be like, guys, this is the formula, do this. No, all I can say is that I'm trying, and if you're trying too, we're like 80% there, because you've got to just do what works for you. And even if you're not doing things the most conventional way, you know, I see all these mood boards and vision boards and planners and this and daily affirmations this, and I'm waking up at 5 a.m. The reality is, when you're a single mom, you probably can't do stuff like that because it's extra time that you don't have. And that's not, some of you like who do all of that stuff, like wake up at 5, daily ritual, I salute you, because I'm not there yet. But this is for the people who still want to achieve and aren't necessarily there yet. It's fine that there's not a formula, as long as you get it done. Like my mum always used to tell me, there's two people going to the same destination. One person might go in a straight line and go and get there in 5 minutes. One person might go on a completely different route. They take a left turn. One person, they take a right turn. Then they go round a roundabout. The moral of the story is they've still got to the same destination. It just took them a different route and a different time. And I think that's the kind of grace that we have to give ourselves as single moms. I think the key word to being a single mom is grace. There's other key words like patience, Peppa Pig, you know, like there's loads of key words, but I think like you really have to give yourself grace. And that goes for everything, because obviously none of us really are single moms by choice. I mean, none of us really set out to be like single moms, really. And obviously there's a story as to why we're here. A lot of us have got a story to tell. Every single mom that I meet has been through similar things that I have, and it's not easy. So you've got to forgive yourself for that, and you've got to give yourself the grace to be like, okay, this is my label, single mom or whatever, but I'm gonna own this label. And I think that's what I chose to do. I was like, nobody's gonna label me. I'm gonna define this label, and I'm gonna try and change that stigma kind of behind it. And that is something that I try and do all the time. And as I said, I always fall short. I'm not there yet, but I'm so determined. And as I said, this didn't, I'm actually like getting a bit emotional when I do this, guys, but trust me, like I wasn't always like this. Like there was a point where I was just like, yeah, cool, I'll be a mum, I'll forget everything, I stopped doing everything that I loved. And I feel like the more you tap into your purpose and your dreams is the better of a parent you are. And the more you have time for yourself and put yourself first and look good and feel good, it all kind of helps your parenting, because you're not snappy, you're not short fused, you're happy, and then you can be a happy parent. And that's why it really works hand in hand. And I think the key to being a good single mom is to be happy within yourself and dig deep and find your purpose and what makes you happy. And once you're in a position to start living that out and fulfilling that, it's just reflected in your parenting. I think there is also practical things as well that we can apply to like being a single mom. Like I always feel that as a single mom you should have, or try to have, multiple streams of income. I think that is key. Being paid once a month when you're a single mom ain't cutting it because there's just too much going on, whether that's nursery bills, whether that's house bills, like bills, Destiny's Child, someone pay my damn bills. No, I'm joking. But guys, adulthood and being a mom, like all these bills, and like now my daughter started doing hobbies, and then they have, anyway, long story short, being paid once a month can't cut it unless you're on like a really good salary. And obviously some people are, but I know for me, I can't deal with the once a month payments. So even if you've got money coming in from other things, you know, what do they call it now? See, it's gone out my head. What do they call it? Passive income. There you go. Passive income. So if you have passive income that you're not really thinking about, things like property, obviously I'm not there yet, but it's a goal of mine, just to have money that it makes itself. And that's why I love YouTube, because I feel like YouTube is an opportunity to gain passive income, because you know, when you get to a place where you get lots of views, you're being paid, etc, etc. So yeah, for me, my streams are marketing. I am a freelance marketer, and I am also in the process of starting my own marketing agency. I also am a makeup artist and I work. So I have 3 roles basically, and it's a lot of hats to wear and it's really hard work. But I think we're living in a different time in terms of work, in terms of access to opportunity, and I think that as a mom you should really try and like capitalize on that. Even if you can work from home, like working from home has revolutionized my life. Like I don't think I could go back into an office, because it just makes things so much easier. Like whilst you're on your lunch break, just pop on some washing and then pop on the dinner, and do you know what I mean? It's really, for some mums it's helped, for me it's helped, and for some people they need to get out. But again, I think that it's good if you're a single mom, because it just saves the commute and stuff. So yeah, multiple streams of income, that's what you need, mom. And budget, okay, I'd say I'm a lot better at this than I used to be, but budgeting is really important as a single mom as well. Like your budgeting has got to be amazing. Your money management has got to be really good as well, because there's just so much things that go through your head, and you can like make yourself a little spreadsheet, or you can do something really simple, which is what I do, whereby I have all my bills on one card and then all of my spending money on another card, and that is literally what I do, so the two don't ever cross over, and it just means that I know exactly what I'm doing. And I also as well think, take out cash when you've got cash, rather than doing tap 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 home bargains. Being you go in there for like 2 things, you like £25 out, and yeah, that's life. But I feel like when you've got cash, you can actually see where the money's going. So as a single mum, I think my budgeting, like I used to be really bad. And as I said, I don't ever want to make out like I absolutely love every day, because I really don't. And I just want to talk about those days where you're not feeling good, the days where you've been up all night, your child's sick, you've been the only person dealing with them, they get up again and there's more demands. And I've really had to learn that I'm allowed to have those days where I feel down, and I think I've learned like the coping mechanisms and how to handle those days. And toddlers have a lot of tantrums, but you know what I do now? Ignore. I just act like I can't hear Nova when she's having a tantrum. I act like I can't hear her when she's being naughty, because sometimes you've got to choose. especially as a single mom, you've got to choose where you're distributing your energy, and you can't fight every battle. So I think I've just learned, like, you have to pick your battles, and on those days where you're feeling really overwhelmed and stuff, you just have to give yourself extra time, extra care. You know, as I said, I don't care, the house can stay a mess on days whereby I'm feeling like that, or I don't care, I'm gonna get some sleep and you're gonna sit down and chill. And it's just not being too hard on yourself. So again, just giving yourself that grace and asking for help. Like, people aren't gonna know how you feel unless you come and say, like, I'm really struggling today, or my little one's really misbehaved today. People aren't mind readers. So I think it's really important to, like, utilize the people around you, and if you are, like, really feeling like you're at capacity, you need to ask people for help. Whether that's, like, my little sister, bless her, I'm always like, can you just come for a couple of hours, or can you pick up Nova, or just really utilising the support system around you. And you are not going to know until you ask. And for people who don't have that support, my heart really goes out to you. But again, hopefully you've got friends, there's daycare groups. If your child's a bit older, you can take them to a hobby on a weekend, just to give yourself that extra breathing time. And this is what single motherhood is about as well. It's about finding solutions. You've literally got to be a problem solver. Budgeting, tantrums, men. Now, moving on after any failed relationship, I feel like is really hard, because you've probably been through a lot, and especially if you've had a child with that person and you've walked away from that relationship, you've been through a lot. And I just think it's really important to give yourself time to breathe after that situation. And you don't want to, like, rush back into something prematurely and then make the same mistakes again and kind of find that fulfillment elsewhere. Like, enjoy the time of it being just you and your child, because that time's not going to last forever. And as well as that, I think you should date. Absolutely, as a single mom, don't be scared to date. But I would say be mindful of who you bring around your children, who you're introducing them to, just because the world is a scary place. Do you know what I mean? And you don't really know people, really. And you just got to be really careful. Like, for me, my daughter is the most precious thing ever to me. And to this day, a lot of people have not met her. A lot of people. And that's not because I don't love them. That's not because we're not cool. It's just she is my most precious thing. And I think it's just important to have that standard for your child, because I just think having them in a good environment around good people, and when you are in a healthy relationship with a good man, of course, bring them around, you know, build that bond. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just be really careful. But I think it is hard dating as a single mom, because it's like, it's so hard to find the balance. It really is. You don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little. It's like this, like, you feel bad. You know, I was speaking to one of my close friends the other day, and she was like, oh, like, people can't even come over to your house and chill, because it's like your child might be sleeping next door and then they might come in, and do you know what I mean? So there's just so much things that we have to think about, because it's like, who's gonna have the kids? Or, you know, I can count probably on one hand the amount of dates me and my partner have been on, because there's just no babysitters for us to enjoy and eat out and do all the things that we would have done had I not had a child. So I think as well, you need to be with somebody who understands that this is not like a normal situation, and embraces that, and just understand. You also want somebody as well who's going to support you, and do what he can in that situation. You don't want somebody who's just going to be like, well, that's your child and, you know, that's your problem. You realistically want your partner to support you in that journey. But you're entitled to a love life, mom. You are entitled, and don't let anybody make you feel like you aren't. Just the right person, the right time, when you're ready, and who is going to be good for you and ultimately your child as well. Dating's the ghetto anyway. Like, oh, the streets, please. I couldn't. Single mom. I feel like sometimes you can resent your now and be really kind of like, oh, I want to go back, I want to go back. Like, I was on that before. Oh, I want my body back. Oh, I want to be back in the club. Oh, I want to be free. Like, you just got to drop it. You got to really drop it, because otherwise you'll just start really hating your present and subconsciously kind of resenting your child as well if you're not careful. And we don't want to do that, mums. We've got to embrace what our life is now, make the most of it. You know, we might not be able to hit the club at night, but we can go to a day brunch, you know, have a couple of Prosecco's in the daytime. Like, the fun doesn't have to stop, it just changes. And that's what we have to do. We have to adapt to how our lives are now. And that's why I can speak so positively of it now, because I stopped craving my life before and I just accepted that this was how it is. This is how it is. I am a single mom. I am responsible for Nova. This, you know, they say you can't give them back. You know, them old Caribbean parents, you can't give them back. You can't. And all you can do is give them your best and give it your best shot. So just give it your best shot. As I always say, I am not there yet. Please don't look at me on here because I have nice videos or I look nice on Instagram. That is how I look 2% of the time. My hair is never done. My skin is grey because sometimes I barely even have time to cream my skin. Like, literally, I don't stop and I don't have it all together and I don't have the answers. But as I said, all we can do is try, and it doesn't come with a handbook. But if you kind of manage your expectations, look after yourself, try and get a routine going for yourself and do your best, I guarantee that you can boss this journey.